Good morning. Make sure that we have all the oils that we are going to be talking about out today. Okay. Good morning, everybody. I am very excited to talk to you about this topic today. So we're just going to jump right in here. So, if you're watching this and you're new to oils, you can find one of our Essential Basics classes in the videos tab in here. But if you're not new, then this stuff should make more sense. So we are going to be going over our emotions and what oils can help support them, along with our emotional aromatherapy line that doTERRA already has, which is super convenient. So are you ready to feel good more often? You are created to function as a whole, our mind, our body, and our spirit all together. And a lot of times, this gets really out of balance, and it can be really frustrating and very hard to get back into the flow of things. Now, our body is designed and is made of intelligent cells designed to continually restore our health. So even after we go through, something health-wise, our body knows what to do to be able to redo it and to restore it back to what it needs to be. So it's not always stuck there. So basically what the oils do are they're helping our body, supporting that process. So this even pertains to emotions and things of emotional injuries and restoring our emotions back to what they're really meant to be. So emotions in your body, emotions are information carrying molecules that bind and react with cell receptors. So we have tons of emotions in our body. Now, we have 3 brains in our body. Science reveals that there are complex neural processing functions in the mind, body, and the gut. And I think that a lot of people have heard of the saying, your second brain, which is your gut. Now, the mind, which is our logic and our intellect, the subconscious mind directs over 90% of our behavior. Now, our heart, which is our intuition, are more neuropathways run from the heart to the brain than from the brain to the heart. Now, our gut, which is our gut feeling that we get, 90% of the body's serotonin and other feel-good chemicals are produced in the gut. Just a little side note about our gut feeling and if we are having serotonin issues, dairy and wheat are two of the most consumed things that suppress our serotonin levels, which can lead to depression, not sleeping right, things of that sort. So that is a really big factor that I bring into my clients if they're having a lot of emotional issues, and kind of just go play around with that a little bit and see, what cutting that out will do for you. Now, the connection equals wellness. Connect the 3 brains to feel good. So if we connect all 3 of them, we're going to feel the flow of life. We're going to feel all of the things naturally that we need to feel. Feelings are really chemicals that can help or hurt, basically, because we are creating these feelings in our body. Now, emotions and your beliefs. So how it goes is it's like your life experience and something happens to you and you're kind of in shock, and then you get into the processing mode. When you process it, you think of things. I have to figure this out. I feel overwhelmed. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. All of the things that are overwhelming us and coming into our brain. And I personally like to call it the wheel that doesn't shut off. And then after you process that, you go into the reaction part of it. Now, the reaction is how our body responds to these emotions that we've created. Now, it comes out in head tension, conflicted feelings, an unsettled stomach. It can come out in rashes, literally anything that you can imagine it can come out in your body as a reaction from, this processing situation. And most of the times we call that stress. So if we get stress headaches, we get, stress, like whenever you can't eat, all of the things make up that reaction. And, as they say, like, stress comes from our reaction to situations, not the actual situation. It's what we create from that stressful situation, right? And of course, as humans, we are going to have stressful situations in our life. It's just going to happen. But it all goes back to what you are reacting to and what you are choosing to stress about. If there's nothing you can do about the situation, there's no need to stress about it, right? But we create that in our brains, the processing aspect of this, and that leads to our reaction, and it comes out in more ways. Now, after the reaction part, this goes into our belief system. And this is where a lot of our limiting beliefs and things are created throughout our life. Now, if something happens and something bad happens and you process it and you react to it, you can't do anything about it, the belief can come out as like, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or, it's always a negative reaction, really, is what your belief is. If you're in this path of thinking that way, it's always going to be a negative thought that you end with, right? And if you fail at something, if you fail at a situation or something of that sort, this is what's going to come. And we need to try to not let it get to that point. And this takes a lot of really, mindset changing and things of that sort, but it's totally doable. Totally doable. So what you need to do is, whenever you get to that belief system, and this belief system affects your emotions long term. So if we can rewire our belief system and the way that we react to things, we are going to create a healthier emotional response in our bodies. And I think that's, a lot of times what we need. A lot of people need that balance in their life, and they just don't know how to get there. So, and this comes to, whenever you get to that belief system and whenever you really are strategizing to maybe create less stress in your life and less, more emotional balance, you need to think about what you need to weed out in your mind that is no longer serving you, that is no longer, that is creating more of a problem than it is a solution. Like if you're telling yourself, I'm not good enough, that is affecting all of the areas of your life, right? And you're going to be depressed, you're going to be upset, you're going to feel like crap. So we don't want that, right? So essential oils to support healthy emotions. So now essential oils in general support healthy cell function. They anchor healthy biochemistry, and they promote physical and emotional detox. Now, this is so true on so many levels. And it is amazing to see how certain oils can bring out situations and feelings in your life so that you can get rid of them. And personally, I've used this as my number one tool to be able to do that. So when going through a journey of, dealing with past things that have been holding me back or beliefs or any of that sort, and emotional injuries, and a lot of that causes stress on your body, and it comes out in physical pain, in emotional pain, all of the things, right? And whenever you can kind of take a step back and kind of work through the things and use the tools as oils, to release them, you will be amazed at what happens when you do that, and at the progress that you make in that situation. So I always, when working with my clients, we kind of have to go into that conversation, and it's sometimes uncomfortable, of why are you feeling this way? Like what happened in your life to make you feel this way? And we go from that, and we kind of just take a step backwards, and we work through each individual emotion, and we use the oils to help release them. I know, personally for me and with a lot of my clients, the heart chakra gets blocked, in our heart. We hold a lot of those emotions in our heart. And to help release them, I use the forgive oil, which we will talk about here shortly. And, it kind of creates that space to, if your intention is to release these things, you want to create that space, whether it be meditation or just alone time, and using your oils and just asking for relief, asking for it to be just relieved from you. And, you have to create that space. Now, here's another cool thing, whenever we do use oils and we're using only, 1 or 2 drops, 1 single drop of oil, doTERRA's oils, equals 40 million trillion molecules. And these chemical compounds service every cell of the body in the matter of minutes. So this is why we say, whenever you are using oils, you only need 1 to 2 drops. That is all you need per dose, because this is how many molecules, 40 million trillion molecules, is in 1 single drop of oil. And it's going to service every single cell in your body in the matter of minutes. Now, how to use them in the emotional way. So whenever one of the easiest ways that I love to tell parents and, parents of little kids and things of that sort to use oils is to diffuse it, because that is going to be the fastest way to get them into your kid's body. Now, if they are having like a very emotional day, or I know my son personally, he gets like that, they're kids, that's going to happen, right? And even it happens with adults as well. But kids don't, they kind of just deal with them and they let them out, which is great, and which is what adults don't do, right? We kind of suppress them. So as kids, and with my son, I like to make sure that he deals with whatever he's feeling and he doesn't suppress it. So by using the oils in the diffuser, if he's feeling really upset, I'll put some forgive and some console in the diffuser, or I'll put some balance and serenity. I mean, there's plenty of different oils that you can use, and then I will just let him work it out. Let him calm down. And it is amazing. And it's not going to come back up. He's dealt with it and he's moved on from it. And it's really amazing to see that shift in his mind. Now, this is very helpful tool to use, especially when we get overwhelmed, or our kids get overwhelmed, or anything of that sort. And it shifts your mood. It shifts your mood so fast, guys. Like within 20 seconds, it shifts your mood. So aromatic molecules have direct access to the limbic area in the brain, or the emotional seat of the brain. So this is from here to here is the only straight pathway that you have in your brain. And whenever you're inhaling the oils, that's why they get there so fast. So it directly affects your limbic system, where your emotions live. Now, the second way that you can use oils for emotions would be topically. Stimulate and self-repair. So what you could do is you can apply them on the back of the neck, on your brainstem, right at the base of your skull, and across the forehead or on the bottoms of the feet, to help with your emotions. Now, your reflux point for your brain is on your big toe. So if you're feeling really overwhelmed or anything of that sort, you want to put it on your big toe as well if you're putting it on your feet. And that will really help stimulate your brain and calm it down. Now, apply over the heart, insides of wrists, or in fleshy pockets behind the ears. So these are 3 of my favorite areas to place oils. So apply it over the heart, because that's one of your 3 brains, right? So if you apply it over your heart, you're going to instantly calm you down. Not only that, but you're going to breathe it in as well. And insides of the wrists. So if you have it on your wrist, a lot of times people, they have their hands close to their whatever, and that's also going to be very calming, very calming. And, or the fleshy pockets behind the ears. So right behind the ears is where I love to put oils, just because it's just affecting everything. It really is. And it's really helping you just ground yourself and calm down. So I do all of the things, actually. It depends on how emotional I am, but I like to just place them everywhere. And there's really no wrong place that you're going to do this. It's just, the most effective ways Of course, now we don't want you to put them in your eye or anything like that. But whenever you are using them topically, the general areas would be forehead, back of neck, behind the ears, wrists, heart, big toe. Now, I will say the third place that you can put them topically would be apply over your stomach area. Now, I do this quite frequently whenever I shouldn't say quite frequently, but whenever you get that feeling of like nervousness or anxiousness in your stomach and you feel like there's butterflies in your stomach and you don't know what it is or where it's coming from, or you're nervous about something, or whatever the case may be, when you get that feeling, it's super effective to apply the oil right around your belly button, because it is affecting that brain, right, immediately. Now, for me personally, I like to use Serenity on my stomach when I get like that feeling. So I just take the Serenity and I rub it around my stomach, and it calms me down completely. It really, really does, because it's calming the emotions in your third brain, right? Now, the third way that you can use oils to balance your emotions would be balancing your chemical reactions. Now, the only oils I'm speaking with when taking them internally, obviously, is doTERRA. But you want to make sure that they are the ones that can be taken internally. So make sure they have the supplement facts on them and not ingredients, right? So the best way to do this would be to put them under your tongue. So whenever you put them under your tongue, again, it goes straight into your olfactory system. What's super cool about this, and what I think a lot of people don't realize, is that it affects your brain within, 22 seconds. Now, whenever you go to the doctor and, they do put you on medicine for anxiety and anything of that sort, they normally say like, oh, it takes 4 to 6 weeks to get into your system. They say this because there is a blood barrier wall in your brain. And behind that is your limbic system. And it's protected by that wall because it doesn't want foreign objects coming in there and foreign chemicals coming in there. So whenever, the doctor prescribes you a medicine like that, they have to actually create, like, in the medicine, they create like these little vehicles that get it past there and build it up over time. With the oils, they're soluble, so they pass right through. So you're going to get the effects of the oil, again, within about 22 seconds. So personally, I find it very, very effective to take frankincense or copaiba under my tongue if I'm feeling anxious. I normally do this every day as a proactive method, because you have to realize the thing about oils is it is better to be proactive instead of reactive. Now, and you're going to get better results if you're proactive about this. But if there is a time in the day where I'm feeling extra anxious, or, something comes up, and I will do 2 drops of frank and 2 drops of copaiba under my tongue. There have been times where I've even done lavender to calm me down. Really just depends on, number one, what you have at your fingertips, and number two, listen to what your body's telling you, and you'll get there. Now, did you know essential oils are dynamic, supplying targeted support for your healthy body as well as your emotions? So again, they are just supporting all of your body. Now, whenever we're talking about like as a whole, and I always go into this with my clients, because it's not just oils that need to go into this plan here, right? Again, how much water are you drinking? You want to increase your water intake. Water reduces anxiety. I mean, that's just a proven study. Water reduces the anxiety. Water can reduce a lot of things. Increase exercise and movement. I always recommend people to be doing some sort of exercise, whether it just be walking or yoga or whatever. I always do that because you are releasing the emotions that need to be released. And especially yoga. This is what I'm going to really stick with here. Because for me personally, that's been my journey of being able to release things. You will cry, you will laugh, you'll do all of the things that come up whenever you are releasing, and you're creating that space for your body to release those past emotions or those emotional injuries, right? So I always, always, always recommend to do exercise. Now, whether it be something so small, give the intention that you are creating this space to do this for yourself. Now, rest and meditation is the next thing that I recommend, because it is so important to have the proper rest. If you don't, then it's just a snowball effect, right? And I'm sure that everybody knows this. It's your sleep affects the rest of your quality of life in all other areas of your life. So if you're not sleeping, right, you're not going to be functioning properly in any other area. It's just facts. And if this is consistent for a long period of time that you're not sleeping right, you're going to have long-term effects from it. And we don't want that. So proper sleep and the proper, for instance, like, if you do have a hard time sleeping, I would suggest Serenity soft gels and obviously a diffuser with some Serenity in it, and a brain dump book. So I have mine right here, actually, and every night and every morning I write in it. I write everything that's on my mind. If you're that person, because I used to be this person, that can't sleep because your wheels just won't shut off, and you just keep thinking of all of the things, really, guys, this is an easy fix. You can go to the store and get a 99-cent notebook and just lay it all out there. And I promise you, after you keep doing this consistently, you're going to notice that your sleep changes. And therefore, your emotional health is going to change because you are getting better sleep. So you're not going to be as stressed out or anxious or upset or any of those things because you're not overwhelmed because you've had the proper amount of sleep. Now, meditation, again, creating that space to release the emotions and to get insight on how to deal with things. So this is like one of the easiest tools that anybody can do, yet it's not as common as you would think. And I get a lot of, I don't know how to meditate. Really? You download the app. It's called Insight Timer app. And you just do that. You can pick if you want guided meditations, if you want just plain, like, no word meditations, whatever, you can choose anywhere, like 1 minute all the way up to like 2 hours. So it's very versatile. And I invite you to create the time and create the space for you to do that. Okay, so, and it's cool because with even kids and, young kids and, my son's 2.5, and I am encouraging him to join in with me on this. So encouraging him to join in on yoga and things like that so that he has emotional balance and a healthy emotional response system from a young age. I want to instill that in him from a young age. So it's just so effective, and I will tell you, it has been so effective. Now, the next thing that I would do to improve, your emotional response and things of that sort would be to improve your diet. Take a look at what are you consuming on a daily basis and over a week. Are you focused on high processed foods? Are you focused on a lot of sugar in your family? Really, you want to, all of these things go into play. And whenever you feed your body good food and whole food, you're giving it the proper tools it needs to repair its emotional system and physical system as well. So again, this goes into both the emotion and the physical. So it's it's double beneficial, right? Rather than if you were to just do something, to just cover that up. Now, I don't encourage doing just something to cover it up. This is a process, and some people, I feel, get really frustrated with it because they don't look at all of the aspects of their life. They might be like, oh, I'm just going to use this to, keep me going or whatever. But really, what kind of quality of life is that? If you're just using a Band-Aid on it and you're still having all the problems, so it's kind of a journey, to really get back to your emotional balance, but it's very effective and it's worth it. So now, whenever you are being proactive about taking care of your emotions by doing all of those things, and the oils are going to work better. They're going to be more effective in your body. Now, movement by movement support. So what are you feeling now? Reach out, reach for 1 or 2 blends to meet your emotional needs. So this is a quote that we kind of like to refer to. You fill a bucket drop by drop. You clear your mind thought by thought. You heal yourself moment by moment. So you're not going to heal all of the things with, all of the emotional trauma at one time. So you want to keep in mind that this is a process. Now, the really cool thing is that doTERRA created the emotional aromatherapy line to be able to help better support, the emotions and stuff. So they created their own blends. So we're going to go over those now. The first one would be Motivate. Now, Motivate is very much helps whenever you're discouraged, gloomy, distressed, things of that sort. And it's called our encouraging blend. And I personally like to use this on the top of my stomach to help really gear me up and motivate me. I like to diffuse it in the morning in my office before I come in here. I'll turn it on before I jump in the shower, whatever. And it really brings you up. Now, it has a blend of peppermint, clementine, coriander, basil, yuzu, rosemary, melissa, and vanilla in it. And it smells so good. So this is Motivate. I don't think you guys can see that. Maybe. It's the orange one. So what's cool is, doTERRA created the emotional aromatherapy line. It also comes in a touch kit as well. So this is super convenient for kids, adults as well, but super convenient for kids because you just put it right on them, and it's already pre-diluted. You don't have to worry about it. So again, Touchline is super effective. Now, the second oil that I would talk about would be Cheer. So this is our Cheer, which is our uplifting blend. This affects more of the somber, disinterested, and bored. And it really just brings you out of that feeling, So a lot of kids that get bored a lot, this is going to be really effective for them. Adults, we get bored a lot as well, right? So it's just very, very effective that way. Okay, so the next one would be Passion. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you what was in Cheer. So in Cheer, we have wild orange, clove, star anise. Don't think I'm saying that right. Lemon myrtle, nutmeg, vanilla, ginger, cinnamon, and zervets, herb. So that's what's in Cheer, and I totally wish you guys could smell these through here, but I know that's not possible. So I will. So this is I don't really know how to explain it, but it is so uplifting, and I really like to give this to people who are just very down, and very need that boost in their life. So now the next one would be Passion, which is the inspiring blend. Now, Passion is, let's see, it has cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, clove, sandalwood, jasmine, vanilla, and damiana. Now, my favorite thing to do about Passion is that whenever people say that, they lack passion in their relationship, or they're with their significant other, this is very, very helpful in that situation, if you catch my drift here. Now, it's really good in igniting that fire again that some of us lose over time. And if you really don't know what you're kind of in a stagnant area in your life, Passion will help bring you out of that. Now, the next one would be Forgive, which is it's the green one. It's our renewing blend. And it's discontented, bitter, and angry. So Forgive has some spruce, bergamot, juniper berry, myrrh, arbor vitae, nootka tree, thyme, and citronella. So it's very, very earthy and very tree-like, if that makes sense. Herbs and grasses really are what it comes from. So this is a very effective tool in releasing anger from your heart, releasing anger from your body. So for instance, for me, growing up, I carried a lot of my anger in the back of my neck. And when I did that, it would hurt to the point where it was just it was just ridiculous. It wasn't my pillow. You know, my chiropractor was putting everything back into place, but it wasn't doing anything because it was so much emotional energy that was stuck in there. I had to release it. So I put it on the back of my neck, you know, to help really release it. And it really, really made a huge difference. And that's not always something that you would think of. Like, why would I put an oil, you know, for my emotions on the back of my neck? But, and everybody's body's different where you carry your emotions. And for instance, your anger. Now, I know a lot of people carry their anger in their liver. That's just the most common area that your body carries that in. So by putting oils on your liver as well to help kind of detox those out of there is really, really effective. The next one would be Console, which is actually one that I do put on my liver, or I had put on my liver, you know, when I was feeling angry and such. Now, this would be more of, you know, ashamed, you're sad, you're grieving. And in Console, which is the purple blend here, it is our comforting blend, and it has some frankincense, patchouli, ylang ylang, ladanum, amyris, sandalwood, rose, and osmanthus in it. So this is the oil that we gift to people if they lose, you know, a loved one or anything of that sort. This is always the one that we give them because it's just so effective in helping that grieving process. You know, and obviously you're going to have all of those emotions. This just effectively helps balance them and effectively helps let them go, and so that you're not holding on to them for a longer period of time than you need to, if that makes sense, you know, so they're not haunting you years down the road. So you're dealing with the situation. The next one would be the Peace, the Reassuring Blend, which is more of, you know, hurt, worried, and fearful. So Peace really is just, it just brings you down to, you know, to earth, really. And it kind of grounds you and gives you that feeling of peace. Exactly what it says, you know. So what would be in it would be the vetiver, the lavender, the ylang ylang, the frankincense, clary sage, marjoram, ladanum, and spearmint. So again, very, very effective in helping, you know, calm. This is one of my favorite ones to use on Carter, my son, actually. Just because, like, if I don't really know what's going on with him, I really like to be able to have that tool to, you know, just bring peace to his world, right? You know, very effective. And a lot of times what I do is I will give him the touch roller balls here. I'm going to get them all out so you can see what they look like. And let him pick, you know, like, go with what your body is drawn to. So let's see here. I don't have all of them here, but this is a good note. You can get an idea of what I'm talking about. So when they come in the touch kit, whew, they're backwards. See? Again, pre-diluted for kids and everything like that. So I let Carter, you know, I give Carter a couple and he smells them, and, you know, whatever one he's drawn to, he'll use. He'll be like, okay, you know, and he'll put it on he's really good at putting on his heart. You know, occasionally he tries to put it in his mouth, but we don't let him do that. So you just want to obviously watch your kids while you're letting them oil themselves. But it's a very good feeling to know that they know what to do with it, you know, and so that they can help themselves. So now, again, you know, there's so many other things that goes into you know, healing your emotions and things of that sort. And this is just a very good tool to have in your home whenever you have a lot of emotions flying around. And it can really make a difference in your life, especially if you're proactive about it, you know. And of course, whenever you begin, you might have things that are built up, so you have to work through them. But by being proactive about your emotions and keeping them in balance is going to keep your whole body, your, you know, mind, body, spirit into, you know, right. It's going to keep it balanced. So I hope that makes sense. Now, if you have any questions about this, feel free to either message me or you could post it on here, and we can answer that. Now, with the emotional aromatherapy kits, there are two of them. The first one is, it comes with all of the 5 milliliter roller balls that we talked about. Now, keep in mind, none of these, the emotional aromatherapy oils, are ingestible. They're just used for topically and aromatically. Okay. So all of these come in the emotional aromatherapy kit, which also comes with the Lumo diffuser, which, by the way, is my favorite diffuser ever if you have not used it yet. And if anybody needs a diffuser, that is the one that I always recommend to them, because it has a 2-hour run setting, 5-hour run setting, and a 10-hour run setting, and I think it covers like 400 square feet, or maybe 5. So very effective. And again, if you are, if you do have a high stress life, or a high emotions going on in your household, what I would recommend doing is diffusing, putting the piece in the diffuser all day, putting the console in the diffuser at night to help work through them, and as you'll notice over time that things calm down. So again, just being proactive about that and just addressing the situation before it even happens is very beneficial. So now the second way that you can get them is in the touch kit. So the first one is an enrollment kit, actually, and you'll get your membership with it as well. But the touch kit is just by itself. So if you're interested in that one too, let me know. It's hard to say like which one's better. I just personally advise everybody to have all of the things in their house because it's so effective. Now, whenever you are, we talked about taking the oils internally for mood support. The other thing that I would like to say is whenever you are taking them internally, another really cool thing to do is the Serenity soft gels. If you have like high energy, high anxiousness, things of that sort, is the Serenity soft gels, because they will help calm them down. Now, the other thing that I like to recommend would be frankincense, wild orange, and lavender in a veggie cap, and take it internally. And I personally just did this yesterday. So I love to do that just for like immediate relief type of thing, and really just works with, again, every cell in your body. So I will post a link to the Essential Emotions handout. So we have the handout here, and this is kind of basically what I was going off of, that this is the class that I teach in my counselor's office. So super effective. Now I will post the link for that, and you could download the PDF if you want to look that over more. And in the comments, I will post the link to the kits for the emotional aromatherapy and the touch kit. So, well, I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Again, drop some comments if you have any questions, or feel free to private message me. And or if you would like a wellness consult, we can set that up as well to kind of just teeter this more towards your benefit here and your personal needs. So, all right, well, you guys have a good day, and I will talk to you later.